This is the Corsair Void Pro. This is the wireless model, obviously of course RGB as you'd all expect. I mean, it is 2017 after all. So let's take a look, see if it's any better than the original Void and if it's worth your money. So first things first, this is the special edition. This is the yellow jacket model, so as you can see it's a very yellow aesthetic and does also come with a basically just a USB extension lead as a sort of shape of a base, so you can put the USB actual receiver into it and then have that anywhere on your desk or anything like that, rather than just plugged into the back of your PC, which does allow for a little bit better signal. When it comes to the headset itself, not much has changed from the original Void, so you're looking at a slightly different microphone, slightly different styling to it, and a different hinge on it as well. I'd also mention that you do have a new LED placement around the back of the microphone itself, rather than actually on the microphone, and the charging and connection indicator is actually next to the USB port on the bottom of the left ear cup, along with the volume wheel, which is still also pretty decent, but feels like a slightly different type of plastic. And sticking with that left ear cup, you also have the mute and power button, although I would mention that when you lift the microphone up, it now auto mutes itself, which is actually a fantastic feature and one that I've very much made use of in the past, at least when testing this, as opposed to having to press the button, which is often, you can often hear through your Discord or TeamSpeak chat client. These new ear cups are actually memory foam and it's really very nice to wear. This is, especially on the top headband, a very soft, plush and pliable material and very easy to just get comfortable on your head. And even compared to the original Voids, where I was happy to wear those for like 10 hours straight kind of thing, these are fantastic, and I've got to say I really do like the overall feel of these. They're incredibly comfortable, even more comfortable than the original Voids. And while I don't know that if you have an original Void headset it's necessarily worth upgrading right now, it's certainly a very valid contender if you are looking for a wireless gaming headset. When actually gaming with the headset, I was really impressed with the overall clarity and ease of use with the headset, and especially playing with teammates, being able to mute the microphone if someone comes into the room, or if I just need to be able to understand where people are, having proper stereo audio connected right to your ears is a lot better way of playing something like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So yeah, really impressed. And of course you're probably wondering what the microphone sounds like, so here is a quick sound test for you. So here's a quick mic test of the Corsair Void Pro wireless kind of special edition, the yellow jacket model. This is what it sounds like when I'm just talking normally, recording through OBS obviously to be able to record the camera, but nonetheless this is kind of what it sounds like when going through a chat client or really anything else. When it comes to audio quality, these seem like very similar drivers to the standard Void, so feel free to look at that one for my main comments there, but long story short, they are decent. They're not the best in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure that you could spend a similar amount of money and get a pretty decent Sennheiser or Audio-Technica headset that performs better in like straight up audio quality. But of course the fact that these are wireless, the fact that they have RGB, because it's on the side of your head and you can definitely see that, and of course the fact that they have a built-in microphone does make it a more sort of easy experience. And while you definitely can check out something like the Antlion mod mic, and obviously something like Audio-Technica ATH-M50s or Sennheiser headsets, then this, at least as a value proposition for ease of use, it is pretty awesome. Now, of course you can use the Q software, although you can actually use this headset completely without software, and that's personally what I tend to do. When I did have the Q software installed for testing this and the previous Void, I did have a few issues with it, just overall sort of compatibility and stuff like that. But of course do make sure that you update the firmware on it at very least first, so that you can make full use of all the features. In terms of battery life, I have to be honest here and say that this was fantastic. I think I got somewhere between 18 and 20 hours of life from this with the RGB lights on, so if you turn those off you're probably going to get an extra couple of hours on top of that. Also, I would mention that, if you have a portable battery bank, then while it's still wireless, even though you have a wire connected, you can have the battery bank in your pocket or, just sitting next to you on your desk, as opposed to actually being physically plugged in, so you can still get up and walk around if you want, which is generally how I charge these headsets, because they beep at you, somewhat insistently when they are low on battery. And while that's not completely distracting from the game, if you are playing at the same time, I generally don't want to take them off at that point. I want to keep using using them, so just plugging a battery bank in does actually work pretty well. So what's my thoughts here? Well, for me, this is a pretty fantastic headset. Now, if you really genuinely care about audio quality and you don't necessarily care about having a wireless headset, then this might not be for you. But if you want the ease of use of having a wireless headset, the ease and functionality of having a microphone, especially an integrated microphone like this one, with the features like you can mute it by just lifting it up, which I use far too much nowadays, it's a really extremely easy to use, very nice headset, decent battery life, decent audio quality for what it's worth anyway, decent mic quality for what it's worth. So I'm overall pretty happy with it. Now, obviously the price is pretty high on this side of things, so while that's a pretty big detractor, it does give a decent value for money, as you'll see in the scoring in a second. So as I said, this does provide a pretty decent value for money, and I think for me this is going to be somewhere between 3.5 and a 4. In terms of performance, for me this is going to be, I think, a 4.5 and about a 4.5 as well for functionality. Styling is obviously a bit of a subjective one. I personally am not a massive fan of this colour. I prefer the sort of stealth black look, but for me this will probably still be a 4 anyway. In terms of TechteamGB score, I think this is going to be a 4.5 and a gold award. This is a really awesome headset, and while there may be other better value for money options if you care a lot more about audio quality and potentially even mic quality thanks to the Antline mod mic and stuff like that, you do still get a lot of extra functionality from this over something like that sort of solution. So it's kind of up to you what you prefer and what you're kind of after there. If you want to know any more about the headset, then take a look at the link in the description down below for pricing, when and where you watch this, and any more information too. Otherwise, if you want to support this channel and me making these videos on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday basis, take a look at the links in the description down below to Amazon, Overclockers UK and the merch store, as all of those help me when you're either buying my hoodies or whatever, or when you're using Amazon or Overclockers UK. Just clicking that affiliate link does genuinely help me out. You can also check out the other videos that are over here for you, and if you're new to the channel, check out some of the other videos, and please do consider subscribing as well. That always helps too. And if you're interested in leaving a comment, feel free to do so. I'd love to hear what you think of this headset. Are you a wireless headset fan, or are you a Audio Technica and mod mic compassionate? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful and informative, and we'll see you all in the next video. This is the Corsair. This is the Corsair VoIP Pro Wireless.